Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in today's video. Welcome to our Final Limit channel. As again, we will be working on my car, the IS300, and today we will be installing the front and rear speakers. If you've seen the last video, I put in the stereo into the car, and for the past week the stereo has been amazing. Bypassing the factory amp, sounds amazing, sounds better than the factory amp. So if you haven't seen that video already, when I put that radio in, go ahead and check that out first before you come check out this speaker install. Let's go ahead and get right into it. We will be starting with the rear speakers, and then we're gonna work our way forward, if that makes sense. So I believe to take out the rear seat, all you have to do is, for most Lexus in this era of the early 2000s, late 90s, you just pull on these clips that sit in the front, and then this bottom part will easily just pull right out. After that, you'll have a few bolts in these corners in the middle and over there. Then you have a few clips up top you just pull forward, and then this piece should just come right out, but I'll see what happens. Okay, yeah, there were two clips. There was one right here in the middle of this seat, and in the middle of that seat. I just stuck my hand under here, got a good grip, and then I just yanked up as hard as I can. You'll hear a pop noise. There's your bottom seat. So after you pull those two clips, this will be at the end inside the seat. You just kind of leverage that down, and then this seat will just slide right out, just like so. After you get the bottom seat out, you'll have, I think, 5 total screws. You have one here in this corner, one holding one of the seat belts, one near the middle that holds this piece, one right here to unscrew the other seat belt for the middle part, one right here and this middle piece, and then one on this corner which holds this seat belt. And finally, the last one in the corner. So that there's 7 screws total. 3 holding the belt, and then 2 on each side holding the actual back seat in place. So then they're all 12 and 14, so just want to let you know that. Correction, there's actually 6. I was close. Once you unscrew those, there will be these thingies up here that hold the seat belt in. You literally just get your little flat head, stick it in the bottom, twist, this will just come up, so then you can remove your seatbelt, and those are for all 3. So after popping those seatbelt thingies off, go ahead and take out all your headrests so they could be out the way and we could finally pull the seat out. After that, you're gonna pull your quarter panel covers off. So these right here, the way you would do it is, I just stuck a prying tool or a flathead screwdriver right here, kind of just follow it up along here, then I just got my finger in, pulled it, and then there'll be a clip here and a clip back there. Pull those out, it'll just pop straight out, then you just pull forward, and there's your quarter panel. The back part is definitely much harder to get out. After you take those headrests off and pop those quarter panels off, what you want to do is, you want to put your legs, one here, one there, get a good squat, put your hand here and there, and literally just lift up, because the way it's sitting up here, the only thing that's sitting up here is these 3 little hook things right here, these 3 hooks right here. So it'll be like a little L-shaped hook, or like a little hook that sits like this. So all you gotta do is pull the whole back part up, pull that part towards you, and then the seat will just come off. After that, put your seat belt behind it, and then this will all just come off. After getting your back seat out, you have these 3 little anchors up here with the cover on them. What you want to do is to unscrew these 3. So the way to do that is you gotta pop these covers off. And the way I did it was, I put my finger here and my other thumb on the other side, pry that open, and then just lift upward. So kind of just like that, and these will pop off. Once you unscrew those 3 anchors, you literally just pop it straight up. There will be one clip right in the middle, right here. So don't worry if it's not really coming out. Just lift up, and then there'll be like a middle clip right here that should just pop off. Then you carefully just pull everything forward and let it lay right in front of you. And for your older Gen IS300 owners, when you take off the top rear deck, you might have the third brake light. When you pull the top deck off, carefully pull it out, there will be a plug, and you just want to unplug that real carefully to not to mess up anything or yank it too hard. Unplug that and everything else should just pull out like how mine did. But mine is a 2004 edition, so my third brake light is on the trunk versus being right here. So yeah, your plug be right here, that area. So now to take out the rear speakers, you need a short 10. Only way it's gonna fit back in the near the window area. So you're gonna need a short 10 and any socket you want, but definitely a short 10 so you can unscrew those 4 bolts that hold down the speaker. So once you unscrew those 4 bolts, there'll be a plug here for this speaker and a plug here for this speaker. I got the rear speakers out. It's probably the reason why my rear speakers weren't working. I don't know how this happened, but I'm glad I'm changing it to some kickers. So I actually might be using this harness right here. Alright, so today we got some kickers for the front and back. These are 6.5s, 6x9s, 150 RMS. This one's 100 RMS. For you guys who know what they're talking about, these are 4 ohm, also 4 ohm. So then now I could just wire these straight to the aftermarket stereo that I have, and I did bypass the factory amp, so that's also important. This mounting kit would be for the front speakers right here. This I got on Amazon. This is the rear deck speaker adapter, spacer, whatever you want to call it. Because the factory speakers, the way they looks like this. Kind of like very like over dramatic with how far they screw in with the 10mm. But all aftermarket 6x9s or speakers, they only go to like right here. All of them. So we have to have a little spacer. Metro harness for the front speakers. Plug there, then you just plug your aftermarket into the orange. Got the rear speaker harness right here. And I'm gonna just be wiring the kicker straight into this one right here, red and black. And then hook this up to the factory plug and see how that works. All this will be in the description below with links to them. I got all this on Crutchfield. They actually hooked this up with the purchase of these two. I bought this separately. So yeah. Alright, so with the factory harness, I wired up the red and black. I'm gonna see if this works. So this setup definitely did not work, the black and red. I have figured the problem out. So the signal wire, aka the power wire, does work. I did check the volts on it. It does go to the back of the car. It does go to the speaker. But you're supposed to have a ground, obviously, with the speaker right here. Clearly, none of these factory 3 wires that come from the plug have a ground. So for any of you guys out there that don't have a aftermarket plug and you're just gonna use a factory one like I am, wire your positive wire from your speaker to your red wire or any of the signal wires from your factory connector, and then just wire your ground from the speaker into a boat or somewhere in the trunk or something. And as I said before, I do have the spacer or the bracket for this specific car. You just put this in. Those are the 4 screws you screw into the speaker, and then the ones on the outside you will use your regular 10mm that came out the car. Quick tip, swing by your local AutoZone or Advanced Autos to get you one of these 3M foam double-sided tapes, because I just kind of just put them on the sides, so when it sits on, it'll be sitting on top of that, and it will cause less of a rattle. Now I'm gonna just put all the stuff back, all the seats back. Seats over here, screw them back on, get the headrest back on, all that good stuff. And then we're gonna make our way to the front, put some 6 3/4 inches in. I said 6.5 earlier, but they're actually 6 3/4 inches. Put those in, and then with the stock tweeters, I think I'm gonna keep the stock tweeters. But at least with the front, it's gonna be easy to do because everybody has a Metro harness, and all we gotta do is just plug and play, and it's that simple. To get the doors off, you have a Phillips in here, and you have a Phillips in here. Those are only 2 screws you gotta worry about. The rest is just clips all along the door. But yeah, once you get the door off, there will be 3 plugs. One for this light, one for your window, and I believe one for your unlock and lock switch. To start things off, you remove your tweeter cover. The way you do that is you kind of just pull it off very easily, very carefully. There we go. And with the factory cars, unfortunately you're gonna have to drill out these rivets right here. Kind of sucks because not everybody has a drill like I do. But yeah, you definitely have to drill out these rivets. Only way to get this factory speaker out. Alright, I got the speakers out with the adapter. I kind of just cut off these fins right here. Cut these off right here. We don't really need them because they kind of just stick out way out here, and we don't even use them to screw it in. We use these right here, and that one, and that one. So I cut that one off, cut that one off, screwed them in with the bolts that they gave us. It'll be this, a flathead on one side, and then it'll be this little tiny nut, which is a 9mm. To mount your speakers on, you use the screws that the speakers gave you, and you just screw it into the speaker, and then screw it into this. After that, you'll plug in your adapter, plug this to the speaker, and then you put your door panel back, and that's it. And for the harness, the Metro group was smart enough to create like a little opening so you can slide your wire in. So you just go through there. The other one will also go through. Go through there. After that, you just put this into your speaker, tuck this away in there, and boom. If you guys get confused on how to mount the speaker in here, have like the K and the CS, like the way you read it, normal and just horizontal, and then put the screw in between these 2 squares up top. Between the 2 circles at the bottom, you put in the oval down here. After that, you just put in the left and right. So it's kind of like a cross. Alright, I just finished putting the speakers in. I'm gonna put everything back together. The door, and of course the back seat. Gotta put those back together, and then I'm gonna give it a little sound test. If you haven't already, I did bypass the factory amp, as you seen from the last video. Got a Kenwood stereo. Factory amp is gone, so this is just from the stereo straight to the speakers. Speakers. For the sound test, I'll have all the equalizers set to, I'll make it all flat just to be fair, and then I'll turn off all the effects that the stereo has, just so it could sound correct with these aftermarket speakers front and back. Is it on?
Yes.
Okay. I will be playing instrumentals again due to the I don't want to get any copyright. So, but anyway, shout out to my man, Distinct Beats. This is the exact same song I played with my stereo install. So. Now I'm gonna turn up all this stuff to the settings I usually have it at. I'm gonna show you what the stereo and the speakers are able to handle. Then for the equalizer, I have it at exactly this setting. If you guys want to copy the exact same setting. This will be What Do You Mean by Justin Bieber, of course the instrumental, and this will be stock everything on the radio with the aftermarket speakers. I'm gonna turn up the stuff to the settings I usually have it and play the exact same song. Alright, so with these aftermarket speakers, the front and rear sound very similar to the factory one, especially the front. But the difference that I would say is they're able to handle a lot more power, basically. So at higher volumes, they won't distort. They can handle a lot more bass, of course, and the kicks. But with the radio, for sure, being able to tune it to those speakers is a very good combo. But when I used to have the factory speakers in here, it was not really able to handle higher volumes or the higher settings that I have it at right now. But I highly recommend getting these speakers. So I hope this video definitely did help out with installing the front and rear. They were a pain in the ass to install, but they're definitely worth the price to purchase. Alright guys, thank you for watching today's video. Of course, like, comment, subscribe. I like reading the comments. And stay tuned for the subs that I'll be installing to this car, because yes sir, they're already in there. Alright guys, thank you for tuning in today's video. Catch y'all later.